Abusia higher Pinax TV and find share kese mashe for any Ghana for nyina fie nrada eba enemu nyina no ensemo a edi akotene aye ka ho asem no efa eye chema Wontumi eho chema Wontumi a sabre de ya che no ya che say ye di na semawie na ya sentence no to 20 years in prison no eno ehu komo na manfo de bi kra kire mu a chema Wontumi ne political affiliation de anya de a obeko prison say de mam ya grada de ye ya enso videos aba a kire mu say chema Wontumi no ada edini free eye court to pe ene edini kopie mu wo eye CID headquarters won kran ha na eho na afa wo moboaboa ne ho a omude no akwakopie mu ewo Nsawam ye betwa ye ni akopie mu ewo CID headquarters na ya hwe said de chema Wontumi eno ada ye boaboa no ede ne kopie mu ewo eye friend say Nsawam prison as say no ne 20 years aye de amano no wo kọ akwakotwa ye hwe video no emra na ye nto ansem no eso.
It is finished.
So that was a year the police headquarters, CID headquarters, and rather after say womo etebli chema Wontumi every a year court ede akwakopie mu wo eye CID eboaboa ne ho ne ade a yede ne kopie mu won Nsawam na wahye eye ne 20 year sentence a yede amano no wahye asese bia ekire no ne legal counsel ebekwakoka ho asem dia na womo akoka ne nyina mu no eye lawyer Andy Apia Kubi ye Wontumi eye ne legal counsel a omugina mu man na fibra asemi hyase wo court no wababe kasa e de afa ensem ne ho ne nsem no ne that screens no eso say that sets a dangerous precedent. This is not the Ghana we want to be part of. Entina wotremu a amafo bebre nkoma wo mudie no efa Wontumi ne sentence ne ho say ase amanyosem bi ewo mu wo ma hyeda no mpese wo mu mia Wontumi punish na ne ade nti no ma hye de twa ne 20 years no eno na Wontumi ne lawyer anase ne legal counsel era Andy Apia Kubi chirim say sa eye ensenda ho ya sebe court no ede abeto wo sabre no ade a emmoa because already no ya tete say NPP fo bi no mo kam na say ye ba ba mu a ene mo nsoso de omo hyase krafi iyoko hyase say Iyoko bema be o say eni omuso mbombe ye say ni ade nti we hwese de lawyer Apia Kubi kasa ne de na kyese Wontumi sentence omudi amano no say de omaye no ne say de omomu hu no mu ne say enya ade a etwa eso ani anaso omudi embra no na ye ne finchim na so me ne sa ade a ene esabone na omu etwa de ato se sa we die obi aka so obedi akire ahwe akrom hanum sei yentimi enkomu na enam so ama the New Patriotic Party osunu kokruko amanyuko no mumpanimfo afre ensentrofo enhyemu benum ahyase react ni ade ebinum chemu dia na chese sei ne epese ye kono okrom ha dia ene ye bekɔ ne sa pepepe yenhwe video we mra na yento ansem ne so but then before ebekɔ akoti nsem a JFK the general secretary wodi to journal. This is the press release omudi kind buy ansana wo mo omo press conference then nsem atutu dwa so yehwe mo say New Patriotic Party headquarters NPP leadership holds emergency meeting on court judgment inti wo mo afre enhyemu efa Wontumi and the sentence idea man said that leadership of the New Patriotic Party NPP together with our flag bearer and the party's legal team is currently in a meeting to thoroughly review the judgment delivered by the court in the case involving our Ashanti Regional Chairman, Mr. Bernard Entry-Boesiakon, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, concerning the Samra Boy mining matter and to determine the appropriate next course of action. Into Muchema party ni mumpanimfo Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia we flag bearer kan ho bie and the legal team of the party no and as abedu mako nhyiemu a mo tenase bobo hu e de afa chairman Wontumi a woye omo Ashanti regional chairman the case no said the akwakodre fa Samuel boy mining issue no eho no say no yanya sentence na wie enti e de biem no mbetimi ayede afa ho. Now so the party will communicate its official position and the decisions arising from these deliberation in due course. Enti mbripamu no omotena se bobo hu dwendwen hu wie a party no so ebeba bonten na de omosusu hu no womo e de abeto monten so. In the meantime, I respectfully urge all members of our great party to rally behind the leadership during this challenging moment. Let us remain calm, united, disciplined, and steadfast in our commitment to the values and interests of the New Patriotic Party. To which you must say, members are womo. Edom NPP amanyuku no omo sere se omunye na anya akomato mu obi anya botre obi anya discipline na fe womu form womu support ma party ni mpanimfo na womu entimi mpa asem na no pomasibre krata yi the General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kudua Esquire wono ena nsashasia wode ababeto emonten eso on behalf of the New Patriotic Party na chese womu bobo home na fe wo mahwede wo betimi aye na omotimi ede aboa omu Ashanti regional chairman. Now Central for nhemudi a womu efre ye no eno ena JFK di tuja se adeni de no kre se concession no biaye honom no Wontumi eje ne legally akonta mining na ehye wo mo ensa na de ebobo ba nyina no chese enchiremu ewo ho edefa ho na se nyese bia mine baby okom mining issue ne start ye no ebi ono an free ni pamu no kofa abia ye ho no onya ne legally but as a issue say ebobo free mu ba ye no ene de abedru sabre yenkotie JFK NPP amanyuku no press conference nsem we efi mu ba
that Chairman Wontumi has been convicted in circumstances where there was no evidence at all to support a conviction in respect of the offense for which he has been convicted. It was never disputed that Chairman Wontumi lawfully acquired his mineral concession. It was never disputed that he lawfully acquired his mineral concession. That fact was established and accepted before the court. The central question was whether that concession had been assigned or transferred in violation of the law. It is our respected view that no evidence was adduced before the court establishing any such assignment or transfer of mineral rights by Chairman Wontumi. The prosecution could not produce any evidence to show that Wontumi had assigned his mineral rights. Instead, the conviction rested on assumptions and inferences which, in our view, could not amount to proof beyond reasonable doubt. That is why we firmly believe that his conviction is a travesty of justice and has to be overturned on appeal. Fellow Ghanaians, equally disturbing is the broader context within which this prosecution has taken place. A troubling pattern is emerging in our country, a pattern where the government appears eager to shield its own while relentlessly pursuing perceived political opponents who have done no wrong.
Abusia, the General Secretary Dema, the New Patriotic Party, Justin Frimpong Kudua Esquire, and our Kasa ye, Ewa Manyukunu, Edimu, which mu say, and Nasobi any one of my woman at the sentence, Chairman Wontumi, be anywhere dead, the Chairman Wontumi, dane, the right of mining not to a third party, and Akofan same winning, but name no, they could speak emphatically say, case no na evidence be enim omano mo chese wo magina so amane sa sentence. Now barely 24 hours ye Chairman Wontumi no me no ka say Prophet Kwabena Okudum waba bonten edinkomhye abeto monten so awotwem se chema wontumi ache ayache no nyame ayi ache ne se chema wontumi nya de a wo bespend more than 6 months and up to 6 months kra ewo efiase ehonom na enche yebeyi chema wontumi ne yeyi chema wontumi a de ebesi ewo Ashanti region no enya asem ketoa yenkotie osofoi ensema wo de ato monten so
Mahu se yeyi chama Wontumi every prison na me hweye na won twa 6 months mpo me won se call bi call so from above sa call no etwitwa je yeyiri free prison obeba na oba be surprise Asante region 4 nyame ni munyam bi be sa ton so na be gibum ya Wontumi beba aberekura oncha 6 months.
Abusia eye prophet Kwabena Okudum na yetie enkomsha wode baaye na chese wotremu dia chema wontumi enya dia wo betwa eye more than 6 months and up to 6 months kra ewo eye efiase enche yebeyi no na nsem wanyina akoso no Honorable Titus Glover the former Greater Accra region minister wono nso akasa de afa ho awotwemu se utimu ze we de pleading pa na wo plead se wontumi yehunu mobo na yenspeye ne se utimu se ensem no ahankrofo bebremu ni se so moye ne saa emboa there is NPP for person mo kire se wontumi case no omo aye na amanyosem omo anhyeda amma atentene ne anya adwuma yentie Honorable Titus Emra
wontumi leje gboma de sare. There are people. I was in Parliament for 2 terms. Haruna Idrisu, Ilante Vandapo, Amako Fibua. There was MPs who were taking double salaries. I know for a fact that when government have wanted to persecute them, our own MPs and leadership have to go and pay salaries. So please, we know how democratic you are. They've all heard. Leave them. And Pesakofado agreed. For the sake of peace and sanctity of this country. You understand? When Ibrahim Omar signed that checks, you remember? Those checks that he signed, he cleared goods from the port, and the checks that he issued, well, didn't go through. That alone, they should have called me for court. When we came to power, we said no. He's a businessman. But please, arrange and go and satisfy whatever debt you have, and go and do it. Why didn't you take my brother Ibrahim to Yoko? Why don't you help the police? I would believe that we'll build a country together. The fact that he had a problem with his check that didn't go through for those monies to come together. So look, find a way and pay back. And he did pay. That is how you build a country. But because you want to be, it's a political phase. So you want to use that opportunity to persecute him, to carve him down. I can tell you, Wontumi spirit is as high as this pole. Allah. So we want to assure President Muhammad he's been given the power to govern. All the orchestra that he's doing to get off the Chief Justice is a way trying to amend the Constitution. I've said it and we'll repeat it. President Mama third term will never happen. Never. If you think he can sack the Chief Justice, you want to sack the way they are doing. NDC people are running commentaries of all the charges they are levying against the Chief Justice. Sami Jeviade, they sit on national television and they say all kinds of funny things against the Chief Justice. Today she has filed an affidavit in support. They said no, they will not allow her. All she's asking for, let the public know what is happening. Let the public know. This is too much to ask. These are all calculated attempts by the president, his government, his party. Because President Mama said when they come, they will deal with the Chief Justice. Didn't you hear? Didn't you listen at the political platform? And today, when he says as for capping of the justice of the Supreme Court, you talk about capping. It means that he wants to have a limit. Today, he has brought something. What does it mean? You say one thing today, then you change your mind another time. They said the what? Increase cocoa prices. Have they increased it?
With the appointment of the CJs, do you expect your caucus in Parliament to, use whatever means they could to stop the approval of the justices to the Supreme Court?
So that is Honorable Titus Glover and Wochimu say NDC for Krano during President John Dramani Mahama the time the 10 no previously and Yema Bibriko mu ebi no jeje double salaries ni ade so NPP buy no wo mo eja asem ni mo anya no hwe enso mo buy ye de ompe so mo dweta so say wo mo ebe frustrate NPP for any ade just to satisfy the president and so enyesa and it was say eba no. Now, ye free same way so na ye nkopie mu ewo ensem foforo eso na ye call President John Dramani Mahama na kache the soon to be AU chairman na me no ka say ababe to apono so say ewo Ghana hanum say no a free 21st to 22nd July aye wo mu ya de Ghana ye be hosti ye mega event power krodwemu a President John Dramani chemu dia na say Ghana ya boaboa ye ho ya ye krado we are ever ready isan say AU Extraordinary Summit on Health fa pomudin ho nsem a titire no topic no ebe kasadia fa is ene Ebola ne ade ehum na eno na mampani chem se empanifo kuku da matitire a wo moda man akese anu ni nyina no ye krado de ama wo mu se ye beji wo mu enam yenu yi wo Ghana hanom ese yenkotie se de mampani de ensem we eto monten so.
On the 21st and 22nd of this month, it will be my distinct honor to welcome you all to the beautiful city of Accra for the African Union Extraordinary Summit on Health. Together, we will accelerate decisive action to end AIDS and tuberculosis, prevent maternal deaths, confront the diseases that continue to affect our communities, and secure Africa's health future. Under the theme, Advancing Justice, Equity, and Universal Health Coverage, we will unite around a clear continental agenda to strengthen local manufacturing, to grow Africa's pharmaceutical sector, to unlock sustainable health financing, and to build resilient health systems that leaves no African behind. As a host country and in the spirit of the Accra Reset, Ghana stands fully committed to this vision. This extraordinary summit is our collective opportunity to turn Africa's health challenges into a lasting legacy of self-reliance, dignity, and shared prosperity. And so let us come together to shape a healthier, stronger, and more dignified future for our people. Ghana stands ready to welcome Africa and to work with all member states in building a healthier, more resilient, and more prosperous continent. I wish you Akwaba. Welcome to Accra.
President John Dramani Mahama na yetie sema wode etu jana che said the AU Extraordinary Summit on Health no ebehwe na Africa ebibiman ya pomodin ho nsem ani ade no yetimi ede nhyehyeye pa egu akwamu na yetimi aboye ho ba because wo hwe said the yare binum ho no ma edi atese in some of the African countries Ebola ni and the Ghana kra na no ada friend saying kind of say statistics say by with regards to the increase of HIV AIDS atese won kran ha ne ade other regions no na say there is a need say the heads of state of the other African countries no ye be kan ye ho abomu na ya fa adwene ne hu de betimi aye nti enei Ghana yetia ye say ye ne host this African states no ama omaba Ghana ama ya betoatoa adwene nti mapani kiremu a omomo akwaba ediba Ghana manyi emu ne nyina mu no Ghana is trending and Ghana is trending for a wrong reason. It's and say one of the international and I say foreign media platforms are SBAC News. Woma ya report bi abeto mountain so no mo report wo mo de ba na chese wo mu kire mu a Ghana ya record about 2,300 Ebola cases and emu 930 ewu krodwem ha na eno na health minister Yera Minta Kando de abeto dwase enye no kre enti hwe screens so mame wo say yes ya de yi circle yi red bi a circle we bi kakra eno ye SABC News Africa Womu no mu yes a news wo mu tro say Ghana's Ebola cases rise to 2,330 deaths. Nti no na the Ministry of Health and so ababonti abechim senye no krent. We shall see, I will say Health Ministry, the bank's false SABC news channel report claiming 2,300 Ebola cases and 930 deaths in Ghana. International no kre say Ghana has say ayeti hey enipa 2,300 and womanya Ebola enemu 930 and wo free mu Ministry of Health etremu bibisa enio entenye no kre na say wo say be clarify ansa na ahyase agentre han ewo aman awudo bi so no man ko kan Ghana nka nkuro a Ebola etete no ho debi Ghana de Ebola ne kura wa ha sebe 2,300 de aden SABC for mukoye research no we himfa na mo de sansem we ba beto Ghana yeso entiera mita kando through the Health Ministry womo de press release aba womo church nsem ni mu Ghana for say ema womo enyi ne esa na say aboye hu ne ye mu hyehye wonam kra na why steady because ene say nipa 2,300 ene enye Ebola mu 930 ewu a you can imagine say there akose fear and panic ye mehyehye se bia na yade no begia tese na tete asimkrofo so ne nyina yenye bi ne ade but according to the Health Ministry no enye no kre enti Health Ministry or more press release wo de aba no into screens ne so na yenhwemu emfama wo say Ministry of Health allay fears of Ghanaians and other African countries about Ebola publication on SABC. In the Ministry of Health said a mekano yehunia dia say ahye nkrofo so after hearing this in free because as I say no information travels very faster nipa ba ko tia sha within 1 minute no nipa dodo ebetimi ate a omuye mehyehyɛ omo no ene do so now said the Ministry of Health has taken notice of a false publication circulating on social media published by SABC news channel claiming that Ghana's Ebola cases have risen to 2,300 with 930 deaths. In Uchema, Ministry of Health, Omani Abaso, say SABC news channel edi abeto dwase Ghana Ebola cases se 100 se ehria kosi 2,300 ememu 930 ewu. So the ministry wishes to state unequivocally that Ghana has not recorded any case of Ebola virus. The figures being circulated are false, misleading, and should be disregarded. And the Ministry of Health say yenya ho ntiase ne tiase yie se Ghana yen record Ebola case bia wo krodem ha no Ebola virus disease na EVD no yenya bi ewo krom ha enti no ensemu a etwegu a enenam abefo mfidie tentan so nyina enye no kre nada enti obi a entwambo. Now so the Minister for Health Honorable Kwabena Minta Kando recently visited the point of entry, laboratories and treatment facilities as part of Ghana's routine preparedness efforts to strengthen the country's readiness to prevent and respond. And your laboratories are hodo ewo krodwem ha, your facilities are hodo ewo krodwem ha num say ya hyehyɛ de ato se de be ya de bi se num ne ade ba amafo beka ya corona ba ye ni o quarantine centers ni ade a omo manyanya bi no ye quarantine wo mo de hyehye ho enti sa na ombasi nya ho nti ase se ye o labs wo ho ye wo emiaye bi asebe yesiesie say yade bi ba ya boaboa ho se ye besa ye betreat nkofo menya sa yade ni ade na minister no era Kwabena Minta Kando wabo apro akohonum nyina a wakohwe de ekoso se de yaye krado se se yade bi ekoyi ni ti e wo krom ha yenso ye bi hu kwan a ye de ebefa so na spread e wo krom ha nti we shall also respond to any potential public health emergency and nti say yade bi impofiri mu a ebene na mframam na bia beto Ghana ha de ye boaboa ye ho yaye krado se ebetimi aye bibi e de aso ano. This proactive measures do not indicate an Ebola outbreak in Ghana. The ministry urges the public to rely only on official information from the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service and to avoid sharing unverified reports that may cause unnecessary fear and panic into tremu dia eno nkyerɛ sɛ video bi bɛtotɔ monten so sɛ yɛwura Kwabena Minta Kando, the health minister bo apro kokɔ laboratories ne facility treatment center ne ade ne kyerɛ sɛ Ebola ba Ghana nti mankofo NG ni sɛ Ebola ba Ghana de bɛboa ne sɛ information biya no was say who every Ghana health service for her there obetimi agye and I said the Ministry of Health obetimi agye but say every different angles and places are yen untimi ascertain say indeed Ministry of Health enim hu bi and a Ghana health service enim hu bi no enhyeda nisa na ehu eni osuro emeto so krata yi Isaac Ofeba ono na the public relations unit ono enam mom so a wo de krata yi abeto monten so nti ensemo a SABC news e de aba beto dwa se Ghana hanum say no Ebola yade aba how much say timi edu 2300 mu temi say yem forget Ebola yare no ebi mba ha na enu 2300 no ena emu 900 na he so emfree mu all be lie na say fake news no edoso enti obi a enda no ho so na obi a enya akoma toyem we na the Ministry of Health ede ababeto apno eso. Now yenko the United States of America one person Ghana because of onunti no Ghana for any US pa yet Ghana nso ye ni US no the former finance minister Kenneth Ofori Atta nyina yenim se edru baabi no na wada wanted den OSP and na push sa case ni den asebe yede ne eto Interpol so ni ade anche na na immigration status issues nso betoto monten so na ade amanfo chim se ne US for embonimbra yehia no wedi sika allegedly was wo bekire mu ni ade na ena me ne woka say the US immigration wo mo aba be kasa de afa Kenoforiata nsem no mu kire mu ana che wo mu ni proof bi ye kire se Kenoforiata wedi boni bi e wo krom hanum say. So as you can see, or say US immigration judge declares OSP's case against Kenoforiata lacked persuasive proof or evidence of criminal wrongdoings. Intina so muchema womo de omayo munhwehwe mu matena nsem ne so mahunu se Kenoforiata kwadu a de bobo no ani sikese case utumi hu charges e de abone bebrebe ni nyina no omo de omu hu se proof bi e wo ho ana evidence bi wo ho from the office of the special prosecutor as we know no nti ama ye nyina ye ni abre no na ensem we US judge wo the Anadel Immigration Court David Gade wono na wode nsem we beto dwa nti wo hwe ne nsem ni bia wo said the respondent Oforiata has not been credibly charged or credibly been shown to engage in any wrongdoing in Ghana. Nti wo mun hye ni bibi so substantial and tangible bitimi di omunsese so say based on this and that no Kenoforiata said the OSP ne hwehwe no hunya se e mane call back to Ghana ochemu a wo mun hye ni any credible charge bi etia no bibi ente asem wensu ya kaka manfo krache mu say OSP no wa level allegations but as a charges no wonyam press charges with solid evidence near the identity na Kenoforiata wonya ne tididim ne no na judge David Gade and so de ababeto monten so no ninsem ni biem wo say I know that you've been through a difficult period of time, that you were detained based on these criminal charges. Your health suffered as a result. You have had your day in court and you have established that you are entitled to adjustment of status. And to Chimwa, I just say, or come way back to Bra. Beto just say Kenoforiata ne time and I said they stay in the US abroad so we breaching immigration law ni adie ko di na yede no ko to mu any adie no ICE detention center ni ade no chem say Kenoforiata we ti bia hwia papa wa bre cause the time a wadi no wo detention center no and the fact that during that time now we're talking about Kenoforiata's health and no na the lawyers for ne can even up to date Omra Ghana kra no they are talking about his health and Judge Gade chairman na say otimu say Ken Ofori-Atta wa bre the health condition ene niema wa fefe mu nyina enei watimi akopie court ni chiremu say charges are Ghana for edebo no omu nheda any evidence bia na say proof substantial proof bia no so otimu say na say ya confirm say indeed Ken Ofori-Atta had a health issues any idea. Again, we share screens or said there was also no evidence that the respondent personally profited from anything that he did as the Minister of Finance or as a government official. And according to the US judge, which you say be anywhere did that same say Ken Ofori-Atta bra na wasum Ghana say yesana hene any abemu nipa no when shede nya mfaso bi enye say de omo kanu na se sika bia finansa say ni ade na contract sika bi and all that judge no so say there is nothing like that because per the approve no omunya hu bibia say Ken Ofori-Atta betena so no wadi sika bi our benefit enya japade say de ankofo kanu eno na say nsem no eya na akakra based on what na US for immigration court person mu kasa nsem we the etray. Now say the OSP affidavit is full of conclusory allegations without any description of credible or reliable facts that would indicate any kind of criminal wrongdoing by the respondent. And Ochema OSP no Ninkrata bi ababonten no ayaye se ono na abo ni trim e na opese wode asem ehye Ken Ofori-Atta because be omo nhwehwemu ene details bi a omanyiye nya no eche se Ken Ofori-Atta oni boni bia onye hwe David Gade wono no ye charge a wo kasa asem we enti wo hwe dia na chese ompese omo chese OSP no opese wo book Ken Ofori-Atta gum se gbugbura na chese ekwaye se ebia na Ken Ofori-Atta edi boni bia na se bibi nti US for ne monimra but wo hwe nsem ne so ekoso ne dia judge ne epese wo kiremu pefe ma yenya ye ho nti ase se Ken Ofori-Atta wo ma yenhwemu wo mu nhye de any case bia ana evidence bia at the back the claims are OSP no make now based on that no utimi say Ghana for bebre adwen ayo montanta on this particular issue they are really wondering say OSP say why ne findings any ade apensin niam hu say Ken Ofori-Atta is guilty but at the end of the day no say so the US immigration court judge lawyer friend saying Judge David Gade we put the lawyer on so chemu say omo enya proof bia enfentia but ni nyina mu no OSP nso wababonten abekasa Wachiremu say niema bebre wo hono ma ase US for ntiase say this case is not within their jurisdiction case we any jurisdiction mum and said the case is different from the immigration case fairness and Ken Ofori-Atta dealing with in US now yen hwe OSP nensemo afi wodi aba beto monteno enti we every the office of the special prosecutor public notice or say office of the special prosecutor. The office of the special prosecutor OSP has taken note of a transcript of hearing purportedly emanating from an immigration court in the United States involving Mr. Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta. And to chema who transcript no and when a breaking down why hwehwemu no a free immigration court US fa Raken Ofori-Atta home, which is being circulated by some media houses suggesting that Mr. Ofori-Atta has not been credibly charged in Ghana or credibly shown to have engaged in any wrongdoing in Ghana. Into in seminar ye pensin once I be show OSP seminar. Bibia did that say according to Judge David Gade no there is no evidence against Ken Ofori-Atta to ndi boni bia ni ade OSP chirema wa huni nyina. Ede no OSP kafa ho. Also, the OSP stated on 16th June 2026 that it is not involved in immigration hearings in the United States involving Mr. Ofori-Atta. Enti busumi atwemu ne de tosudu dunsia no. OSP de betuja said the immigration case ekoso USA say efa Ken Ofori-Atta ehono Onu OSP no emfa ne ho, and he has no interest whatsoever in that particular case. Like on any case and I say the charges are what level against Ken Ofori-Atta has nothing to do with immigration. This said the US for no. Now I'll say, and that the OSP's involvement relates to extradition proceedings against Mr. Ofori-Atta through the Attorney General as the central authority. Into a tremor, immigration dear and fan or no any extradition ye case or dear for the Attorney General emu say womunye na ye extradite ye Ken Ofori-Atta emra Ghana, just like we've gotten some of our guys being extradited to the United States. And the extradited Ken emra and no na case I no ever interest to him. Perhaps it is still being relayed through the Attorney General into an imdentia immigration for a work a US no day and some no and immigration issues emo. Now see the OSP reiterates that the extradition packet is not before the immigration court. The credibility or otherwise of the criminal charges against Mr. Ofori-Atta is a matter for determination by the court in Ghana. Into a trema, woman for case be a court to immigration court there be a more extradition case in a niho. Yes, they've channeled it through the appropriate courts. So Moshe said Ken Ofori-Atta will be extradited. And moreover, no, the credibility of the criminal charge Diabo Ofori-Atta no. Ghana any bit me actually say no crack so Ofori-Atta case na Diabo no we di hu for anase we di hu bim US for Wontumi mekan che say Ofori-Atta different ye na tie krom ye na yakada details krata ni ade so you can't come and tell us what you are telling us. That is what the OSP is saying. Now say which have jurisdiction to determine his guilt or innocence. Just said the matrimony. Such matters are not determined by an immigration court in the United States. And to say so will be abesum na say katasheshe proye ni dwiri mu ne ho abon mu ne pese ye nhwehwemu a enye US immigration court ene be kwakọ hwehwemu abeka kire se nipa no wodi for anase wodi bem ewo ensem ne ho. That is what the special prosecutor Yera Kisie Japan ka say the OSP states that it is important to distinguish between three separate legal proceedings involving Mr. Ofori-Atta. Enti no cases a etia Ofori-Atta ne eyemiensa. Enti yenti ase ani ehu nsunsunye da miensa ne nyina ntem. Enti baako United States immigration proceedings which concern Mr. Ofori-Atta's immigration status in the United States. Enti United States honomono case baako ekoso no F Ofori-Atta immigration status ehu setena obetina krom no ehu. Eno na US for ehwemu. The tosumienu extradition proceedings in the United States which would determine whether Mr. Ofori-Atta should be surrendered to Ghana under the relevant extradition treaty. Into the second case, extradition proceedings are and no enam the appropriate courts US Ofori-Atta the evidence near the Ghana ye de beka extradition application letter ne ho no ebeko no mehwehwemu te se de FBI for beye ye ne o matebiri abutre kamo ne da de jomu kono sa eno so ye another case. And the third case is the criminal prosecution of Ofori-Atta in Ghana. Enti afei ena omo extradite ne ba Ghana ye ba be proceed won the case ne so ni ahwe ensem ni mu. That one is for corruption and corruption related offenses before the High Court. No, these are the three cases as it stands now no Ken Ofori-Atta ehunti no OSP per se ehye ne so ni enye mu ntiase. Now see the OSP reiterates that Mr. Ofori-Atta remains the subject of criminal proceedings in Ghana which are before the High Court Accra. A valid warrant of arrest has been issued by the High Court Accra, and Mr. Ofori-Atta remains a fugitive from justice in Ghana. And to mu chema Ofori-Atta de Ghana ha de hia no and Accra High Court ama ho kwan se yenche no na yenhyensem na se enhwehwemu enso odi ne ti aka nwrai de his odasoa eda wanted aye hia no for attentinene e wo Ghana ha. He is required to submit himself to the jurisdiction of the Accra High Court Accra to answer the criminal charges pending against him. Enti ebeya Omwa ne ho modern na oma ne nan mo ne to na o mepie mu Ghana ha na kwadu ahodo e de abobɔ nu ni nyina no o meyiyi ano. The criminal proceedings in Ghana shall continue in accordance with applicable law and the directives of the High Court Accra, whether or not Mr. Oforiatta is present in Ghana. And to muchema case ni de ebeto aso Oforiatta pa womra opa manema said the emra no etie no omu ebedi superpepe ewo ni case ne ho. Mr. Oforiatta remains the subject of criminal proceedings in Ghana, and there exists a valid warrant of arrest issued by the High Court Accra. Mr. Oforiatta remains a fugitive from justice in Ghana, and he is required to submit himself before the High Court in Ghana to answer criminal charges against him. In the same day, baby OSP Jinano, a one Jina untu ni 9 konechi and untu ni 9 konenim. Despite in some the U.S. Immigration Court Judge David Gade Diabetujan, which him say Oforiatta die why wanted na odaswa wanted inti ebeya man say wode no ho beba na yahwe ninsem no emu enti na busua na chese otimu say die ba bi edro no Ken Oforiatta, it is better so obeba na nasem no yahwehwe emu no kra ewu mu. Now yenkopie mu with the Ghana Police Service for akache na me ne wo ka say COP Lydia Donko CID pani a wo Ghana hanum say wabe press briefing na sebe sebe amanfo bi wo hono mo mayo mo ho se futu nsache ni pagen so hwe and then saying tem afia shase the arrest of Nigerians wo krom hanum say with regards to human trafficking any ade no ya che nkofo ache omo so akwa say Nigeria for bebre na ene hye konesa omo kusori ano makosisa nkofo de fi Nigeria ba na omo ade omo ahye wan kona na omo indulge omo in cyber crimes any ade kwabenya me no ka say enipa 18 and na rescue omo Ghana Police Service for rescue omo as a result of human trafficking sebe omo susu say Nigeria for ni bie na womo ade nkofo yi ababegu Ghana ha omo de omo akɔhye dan bi mu na nnie omo de ne computer ne ade sisi omo anim na cyber crime enti momo fraud to ntwa na de bi omo bulebule nkofo saa data nkofo di omo sika ewo internet no eso akɔgye nkyeremu efie COP Lydia Donko eho efa kwan ya Ghana Police fotimi fa so a nipa 18 omatimi age wo mo na amanfo mo ho bon mu no nso Nigeria fo no mo ho bon nsem ni mu nso no yache wo mo yenkotie nsem no emra.
CID headquarters for this afternoon's press briefing on investigation. And before we take the brief, may I take the opportunity to do a bit of introduction. This afternoon, we are fortunate to have some officers at the CID to support the Director General for the brief. We have Deputy Director General CID, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Solomon Aboninga Ayawile. The other officers here to support Madam Chief Superintendent Mr. Emmanuel Eric Jebli. He is the Director Cybercrime. He's also here. We have the Director Anti-Human Trafficking Unit, Superintendent Mr. William Ayariga, and a host of other officers who are here to support Madam for this afternoon's press briefing. So we have the Director General CID, Commissioner of Police, Ms. Lydia Donko, to do the brief. A welcome applause. Thank you very much. Madam, you are welcome.
Good afternoon, distinguished members of the media, senior police officers, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to this press briefing. The Ghana Police Service remains committed in its resolve to protect citizens, safeguard property, and uphold the rule of law across the country. Today's briefing covers 4 major operations conducted by the Criminal Investigations Department and the Tema Regional Police Command, bordering on human trafficking and illicit trafficking in firearms. 1. Police arrest 10 suspects for cyber-enabled fraud at Mataheko, Afienya, 9 victims rescued. Police arrest 11 suspects for cybercrime at Fafa community, 6 victims rescued. Police arrest 5 suspects for human trafficking and cybercrime at Kwabenya, 18 victims rescued. And police arrest 2 suspects for illicit trafficking in arms and ammunition in the arrest 10 suspects for cyber-enabled fraud at Mataheko, Afenya, and 9 victims rescued. The Tema Regional Police Command, through the Regional Police Intelligence Directorate, has arrested 10 suspects in connection with internet-related fraudulent activities at Mataheko, Afenya, Tema, following an intelligence-led operation conducted on 3rd July 2026. The suspects are Collins Francis Olayi Ojo, Matthew Balogun, Jahid Bello, Abdul Rahman Nufizi, Talent Sinivi, Prey Morrison, Lawal Abdul Aziz, David Ogogbona, Gift Prince, and Kingsley Honest. They were arrested at an apartment suspected to be used as an operational base for the activities. Preliminary investigations established that Collins Francis Olayi Ojo is the coordinator and leader of the group. He is accused of facilitating the movement of 9 Nigerian nationals from Nigeria to Ghana by road and subjecting them to cyber-enabled fraudulent activities under his direction. The 9 individuals were identified as victims of human trafficking and exploitation and have been rescued and placed at a safe location for further action. A search conducted at the premises led to the retrieval of 28 laptop computers and 9 mobile phones, all of which have been secured for digital forensic examination. Suspect Collins Francis Olayi Ojo has been put before the Accra High Court and remanded into police custody. Investigations are ongoing to identify and arrest any other connected persons. Now to the second story, where police arrest 11 suspects for cybercrime at Fafa community and 6 victims rescued. Once again, the Tema Regional Police Intelligence Directorate, through an intelligence-led operation, arrested 11 suspects for cybercrime activities at Fafa community. The recovery to have a commission of cybercrime-related offences. The suspects, victims, and exhibits have been handed over to the cybercrime units of the Criminal Investigations Department for further investigations. Preliminary investigations established that 6 of the 11 individuals were victims of human trafficking. They have been brought from Nigeria, and Wilson Makuo, age 21, who were initially identified as victims, were in fact key coordinators of the syndicate before being sent back to Nigeria. Subsequent investigations revealed that suspects Godstime Terry, age 34, and Wilson Makuo, age 21, who were initially identified as victims, were in fact key coordinators of the syndicate. A third suspect, identified only as Jerry, who allegedly played a key role in trafficking the victims into Ghana, remains at large. The suspects have been put before the circuit court and remanded into police custody, and all electronic devices recovered from them have been secured for digital forensic examination. Investigations are ongoing to identify other persons connected with the criminal network, while efforts have been intensified to arrest the suspect Jerry. The third story, police arrest suspects, Nigerian nationals, for human trafficking and cybercrime at Kwabenya, 18 victims rescued. Still on human trafficking, the Ghana Police Service has arrested 5 suspects for human trafficking and cyber-enabled criminal activities at Kwabenya, Accra. Intelligence-led Azubweke, age 35, Edwin Onyema, age 24, Kingsley Inwachuku, age 29, Henry Chigozi Azubweke, age 35, Edwin Onyema, age 24, Kingsley Inwachuku, age 29, Henry Ebuke, age 32, and Harrison Godwin, age 26. 52 assaulted mobile phones and several wireless internet devices believed to have been used in the commission of cybercrime offenses were recovered and secured for forensic examination. Intelligence received on 11 July 2026 indicated that a group of people had trafficked several young Nigerians into Ghana and were housing them at a residential property at Kobenya, where they were being compelled. Officers were dispatched to the scene. A search of the 3-bedroom apartment revealed 1 bedroom locked. Suspect Chigozie Azubuike claimed the room belonged to his elder brother who had traveled. Officers found the explanation suspicious and forced entry. Inside the room, police found 22 young Nigerian nationals. Preliminary investigations indicate that 18 of them, aged between 15 and 24, are victims of human trafficking brought from Nigeria. The victims had been instructed by Chigozie Azubuike, identified as their self-styled chairman, to hide from the police. The 18 victims have been rescued and placed in a safe location under the care of the appropriate authorities. On 16 July 2026, the 5 suspects were put before the Accra Circuit Court 7 and remanded into police custody to assist investigations. And then to the last for illicit in the Ashanti region, contrary to Section 192A of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, in connection with the illegal trading of arms and ammunition in the Ashanti region, contrary to Section 192A of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. In the early part of January 2026, the anti-armed robbery unit of the CID headquarters gathered intelligence that individuals were illegally trading in arms and ammunition in the Ashanti region, supplying different types of weapons to various buyers, including criminal elements. Following a sustained period of surveillance, the team arrested the first suspect, Christopher Kupini, age 63, a businessman and resident of Ibuakwa, Nanaketwa in the Ashanti region, on 15 July 2026. During interrogation, he admitted the offense and named one Kwabna Tewia as his main supplier of the firearms. Further investigations led to the arrest of suspect Kwabna Tewia, age 56, a businessman and resident of Asofia Kokobing, also in the Ashanti region. A search conducted on him led to the recovery of the following weapons and ammunition: 1 Malik pistol, 1 Walter PK 380 pistol with 1 magazine, 1 Smith & Wesson pistol with 1 magazine, 1 Stoger STR series pistol with 1 magazine, 1 Taurus G2C pistol loaded with 5 rounds of live 9mm ammunition, 3 additional pistol magazines, 100 rounds of live 9mm ammunition, and 20 rounds of .380 auto PPU live ammunition. During interrogation, suspect Kwabna Tewia admitted the offense and disclosed that despite having no license to trade in arms and ammunition, he had been engaged in the business for the past 10 years. He disclosed that he had had a number of clients across the country who had purchased weapons from him without documentation. Both suspects are in police custody assisting investigations, while efforts are actively underway to arrest the identified accomplices and sources of supply. The Ghana Police Service wishes to serve notice that the illegal possession, sale, and trafficking in firearms is a serious criminal offense and will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. As I conclude, I wish to sincerely express my deep appreciation to the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Tete Yohono, for his steadfast leadership and the direction he continues to provide the service and the Criminal Investigations Department. I also commend every officer who shows up daily to protect life and property with professionalism and integrity. Your commitment is not taken for granted, and it remains the foundation upon which the successes we have reported today were built. We also public to the nearest police station or call the police emergency line on 191 or 18555. We also remind members of the general public that the mantra of see something, say something is still in force, and we encourage members of the public to look out for suspicious activity and report to the nearest police station. Once again, I extend my sincere appreciation to the media for your continued support in disseminating our messages to the public. And I must mention that one of the cases of human trafficking where the rescue was made at Kwabenya was reported due to the vigilance of our friend from 1957. I don't know if he's here. One of the victims contacted that media and we were able to report and rescue the victims. So we encourage all of you media to put your messages out there so people can reach you, and then you in turn reach us to rescue all of these unsuspecting victims. We value the role you play in promoting public safety and accountability, and your attendance this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Abusian CEO P. Lydia Donko and our Kasana Cheso through the media one of Nuanum bloggers EB 1957 and a boy Emo Mutimi a Tracy issue where Kwabenya or more Akwache Nigeria fwe. Now young consent for fro so Chema Wontumi week way dear ye intimi jine dimbo see a boy ni Chema Wontumi ni arrest no Abusian. It will surprise you to know say Akwa international level esanse say BBC I reported on Chema Wontumi ni arrest and now to say omo chire mu ape omo research ni omo gathering the arrest of Chema Wontumi no it has come as a shock to some people any idea ya manfo bebre wanwa. And then right, share some of the reactions. Court premises what they are not to say. BBC for year Juma Papa say there. The Ashanti Regional Chairman the New Patriotic Party Chema Wontumi withdrew international level. Now BBC for and someone with the two journey in here was saying shock and anger after top Ghanaian politician sentenced to 20 years for illegal mining. In Tinache says, say no, people are in shock. Because yesterday we shared the agitation. The court premises because they didn't see it coming. No, and no, and a BBC abohu the rule says, say the Chema Wontumi illegal mining, and they don't know echo 20 years. In Chema Wontumi 20 years. Well, so you're China Nina, bra. Now, say shock and anger after top Ghanaian politician sentenced to 20 years for illegal mining. We every BBC said they won't go ye. I was sure no. Na just say before no any yaudi na ewa Ghana for binumu. Chema Wontumi sentence ye de amano no ho. It's quite unfortunate though, but emrano. Now, see, Ghana's main opposition party has reacted with anger after one of its most influential leaders was sentenced to 20 years in jail with hard labor for illegal mining offenses. Into Muchema, the main opposition party, or Ghana has to say, the New Patriotic Party. Now, one of the influential leaders just said, "What could be a woman who could dom kakra na fe and who." Ewe ni pano na Chema Wontumi a trying to 20 years flatter edwumaden eka ho ebie ni nyina galamsey semia. The New Patriotic Party alleged that the landmark judgment against Bernard Entry Boisiakon, the party's chairman for the Ashanti region, was politically motivated. It said they can no mutima amanyosem enomo de ahwe ho amafia Wontumi 20 years according to the New Patriotic Party. No mun say Chema Wontumi sentence a omode man no enye fair. That is what this means. There's a nukredi enim omo ahyeda eno omode amanyosem eno omode Chema Wontumi Ekomo. Say popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, Boisiakon is the first senior politician in Ghana to be convicted of illegal mining since the government began a crackdown on the practice in 2017. To muchemwa, the scapegoat said they been more kekano no Chema Wontumi. Wono na the first amanyonia sebe yachina tumu anaya convicted and sentencing because of illegal mining. Every 2017, that is the NPP for Neshas under former President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo Penso say galamsi umbetua sieni ade no 2026 here we are. Chema Wontumi being the first to be convicted. Say onwa any edeno I scapegoat. So say as well as receiving a jail sentence, Boisiakon, who had denied the charges, was ordered to pay more than $10,000 in fines. That's about £7,450 and I say Chema Wontumi untua. Into aside the 20 years, obese untua $10,000 as a fee. The account sentence home. He looked visibly shocked when the judge handed down the sentence in a court in the capital Accra on Monday. Nti Chema Wontumi ankasa no ohwe no enrada okopi mu okota waje ni yellow and blue. Just say the gestures, the mannerism ni ade na o portray na Ushe BBC Frenzy Momo Candy na say ye why in 20 years na chese na ni musi sign ni mood no sign na say onu ankasa na eye no nwawa. So 20 years they are dying bedi. Now, so the NPP politician was found guilty of assigning mineral rights without approval and facilitating an unlicensed mining operation through his company, Akonta Mining. And he said, "Dientia Chema Wontumi ya 20 years na nuni ye chiremu ane concession na ye de no. Say Akonta Mining for Diano. Was sign Edema will be so will be inquire Juma or Honoma, one quadjet permit. Free the appropriate headquarters and afins woman nipano sebe warning krata akotu a form intinaz illegal mining no and untina Chema Wontumi ya wine 20 years no through a one company Akonta Mining Company. So that is why Chema Wontumi is serving the 20 years in prisoner washa se dada Nsawam edina kopiemu ewo ho and BBC and o mabe report mchem say we dey ama NPP for buafu yie papa chese o ate praga kra wo chen ate say wan a wo mu efu na ne nyina mu no mpanimfo afren centrofo nhie mu die abekasa tin e dia fa eye ensem no eho na so tum say NPP for no omabu enju omo ewo sentence a ye de ama omo Ashanti regional chairman Chema Wontumi yenko press conference na se na entiensem a ifri ho bai
ya frem wa baha ye pese Ghana ni amansa nyina ehu se ene jaja otranse a wodi Ashanti regional chairman Bernard Entubos yakwa asem no atemu a odi aba no ya atemu a achia na amaye nyina ya hu se sabi amayosam ena atemu afo no woye ya we won se ya dutum se Ghana emra ena ese ye adwuma na so emra ne nkyere se sabi obubu atan na achia me nka wansem asema eda court na nim enne court ni buaye no ne tenten ni tetia ene se obia no wo a owo prosecution ho attorney general office ho etimi ka asem ema ne to asum se Chema Wontumi sabi no ni nkrata se obetu sabi gold o ya sase so eno enya ade a court no edi achinie enti a kire Chema Wontumi no krata e man ho kwan so obetu e form agudie asama court no eka ene se omugina so a omode Chema Wontumi akotre abankukom ne se omo se Chema Wontumi krata na okra na emrem no ho kwan so obekra sa krata no odi sa krata no ama obi se onfanko ye adwuma abra lance minister ama approval sabi enchese Wontumi okoye galamse efise title na okra no na emrem na edimu bonya aban ne kaso aye ne se o se Chema Wontumi de ne krata ma obi akoye adwuma aban na amprenso na so ya court no prosecution na entman kire preference ampa adanse e wo kire se Chema Wontumi e de ne krata na sase ama obi se ofankoye adwuma aban no amprenso prosecution no omo entman kire mu jaja wo di asem no ese amu ba ye be di adanse na asem omo kan ye no eno no do tu nsie ni a ogina so a wo ka se Chema Wontumi edifo eno ne mem ye kan circumstantial evidence na so much man prove beyond reasonable doubt I a back criminal prosecution ese prosecution na se court na edigina so ka asem no obi asem a ka kan ye enu nti na judge na gina so a wo ka so de Chema Wontumi akotu aban no kukumu ye NPP party no ye kan say Omampeni Mahama. Say, oh, papa, sebi. Illegal mine near friend Galamsey no. Obeko ho, that's what be to esa. And the wawa bemu, and confirm baby woman. Wa crowd the tomb say, Omoto, that's what more ye Galamsey. Omampeni the Ghana focus and say, Sansem no, akosi say. O party for no more ye no, and one sem no, akosi say. Na kwa koye say, Omampeni ni NDC, awon hurry up. Assembly efa opposition for no omo edeko na so omo tu hwasa no ene sa ohare ni bi na asem for NDC for ho a omo tu sa asa no for the petition koma yoko efa NDC or national organizer you say we am ho ene omo vice chairman Abanga Yakubu ho say omo ye Galamsey Omampeni ni NDC for ebusa mo say asem no akosi say uye no fiwa NDC Maso Bejani or Alpha North South East. The friend Mohammed Yakubu. Or he be permanent free. Na him free. And now say Oye Galamsey Huno. You go so my penny say Akosi say. Opa our win. MP or NDC MP or a friend Honorable Oscar Ofori Labi. A could be a friend Ghana coalition against Galamsey. Ese papa no Oye Galamsey. You go so my penny NDC for say. Saa no mani nyina no akwa kosisen before saa akonya we so maka cho mampeni se ensem ehia Ghana for hwese obetu hu sa no eno hu sa na otu na emom no opponent eno wa na adwen se obetu nani ade asi wo so koko farmers for esu sabi enche ye eno nso eyi fa amanfo omo nkran ha ene regents ni biaka Omampeni ka wodi ya wodi prosecute opponent no ka sa wodi ni bi no fa ko hye sa ntokwa we mu se be ya flag no sem no engine sem wo mem ha na de me ka ko wie ni se me share titafo me hye mo boss NPP chema Wontumi eja ni mu me ka che mo se bi ene e hia ye no NPP legal team for no ya ka che mo se omo file appeal no mo challenge decision na judge no e di aba na me wie no me pese wiasem nyina ati ase se chema Wontumi abanko koma le da kotwe no e ya mayosem sebi enye boni bi no akwakoye oye political prisoner amayosem ti ene na koto abanko kom e ya mayosem ti ana ndisi aban ene koto abanko kom na yakopo oti ase no ini se ebrese mo no kre eba bededi media mu nyina amase
JFK na wakasa ye de ma NPP amanyoko no twemu a na chese chema Wontumi innocent wo kwadu a ye de ebo no ho because o nkrata na obetimi e de amane e wo sa concession honom na court ne kran hye de nya evidence amfantia no se wo de eye ne nkrata na ma obi se onko mine wo asase no eso based on witnesses enu nsemu asebe emrakra embaake no eno mo de ama Chema Wontumi 20 years, which is all politics. Esanse umhuni se eyamanyo 17 na omo aye Chema Wontumi esa. It's quite unfortunate. But muchirema umbeko swapre de ama Chema Wontumi. Ti ye baby a NPP amanyuko ni mu mpanifo ebetimi aboa Chema Wontumi akwa kodru. Afei yen konsem foforo eso.
John Mahama, we are tired of you. We are tired of John Dramani Mahama in this country. You have no any legacy that the current generation will benefit and the future generation will come and benefit. So we are telling John Mahama he shouldn't joke to be a president, the first president in the history of Ghana that you earn your office and you will be prosecuted. I'm telling you, John Dramani Mahama, when he joke constitutionally, we the New Patriotic Party, after his term of office, he will be a first president to be prosecuted. Mark my words.
Abusia, the NPP third vice chairman ena ye kote se neni abrigi digi na jeso chema Mahama oh mampeni wa bro His Excellency ena chese wo tie de ekosu ni nyina achi na wo nkan hunu se from ti hodani ade wonye bibi mfa chese utimu say the MPPs are really aggressive omani abre papa wo chema untimi ase mu ne say the NDCs are not being fair to chema untimi wo mo ede witch hunting ni ade and wo mo de ache chema unti obi kra chire mu a chese ken foriata ho abufuo nyina ka ho bi and wo mo ama chema untimi 20 years because foriata so on made a ene nipa mo anya no ne de chema untimi ono oye clean scapegoat nti NDC for person wo mo de yo mo de to omo hoto e please Ghanaians a lot of sayings and abetuto mountain so now so with how things are unfolding there we are just hoping say software asem obeka ye bi ebetimi abemu de ama chairman Wontumi now so me no ka say ne lawyer Pia Kubi wabekasa o kiremu say enrada ansa na chairman Wontumi ebe court no chairman Wontumi ne kasaye ansa wokopi mu court with the yellow and blue no na nkomo mudi ye no na ededi pefe se chema Wontumi nim se ye be sentence no enra na se court etna sem so na judge ekotena no wanko na ne form tena se dwen mu se asem no ye hwenka atemu sei nipa ne ye be convicting and I am convicting na eba ne saying na judge kra me kasa ya asem ntimi kwa abonten mu obite enti from lawyer Pia Kubia woye the counsel to Chema Wontumi ne de na so hu ne say ensem a yetie ya na the third vice chairman ka no na say kululu bi ni ade enkofo bi nsa wo mu ni ade a lawyer Pia Kubi chem say sankofo ni nyina no asotwe wo ho ma wo no eso papa because as anytime any ade any amanyosem ena ama wo de Chema Wontumi afa sa ekwan we so by serving him 20 years he believes that they were not fair to Chema Wontumi. Yentie lawyer said we change them nim fine.
I'm not considering it. If you come and say ya, na justice no way. Inti say ye boy you mu possibly teach the possibility e be to appear here. Media mikra me no say the power me mo popa ni the way ma about say it will forever be on your mind.
Nipa de won here na man ba say. Oh, lawyer.
Better conscience so.
Prosecution witness nana.
Obia.
Ena hwan bi o.
Me appear could be me come clear ya.
Senti na ye bisa anyway any justice Audrey Kokovite ana.
They know themselves.
Lawyer. Lawyer.
Yes.
Oh, ye din komo. Prosecution witness no any justice Audrey Kokovite ana.
See obia what shame me any bone because bone no would you unim now say because I've read the judgment. And the judgment na me read here. Minim say o ipa bia o ye involved bia any bone na omudi. Me na no say omudi. We now ye never say ya.
Na ye show we say now some boy there no baako tano numere forest there enyambaye na Exim Bank there so emaye
some boy there dey come once na me hold a discussion with you this morning some boy
okay
e could do any other case they become based on the evidence available
okay into now what is the way forward
minim say wa unim say na Chema Wontumi na me the before in fact the morning of yesterday Chema Wontumi catch them say when you say the only he told me
when you say you dey become 20 years ana wo pa kira na
when you say court no begin no so when you so say so we share judgment no copy kura me say na judgment I'm for registry of the court what the Bible team because it is sample behind so the Wabon. Say just you know if you Babon.
Oh, so judgments need the kind of flood abontin and sana. Even our friend is say Justice Audrey Ebabe deliver.
And say you don't misquote. You see, and sana anything copies no about Botino, maybe who is a register stamp for credit.
And a mibisa or send copies need be ababontan not registrars a stamp any so.
Family register stamp when you so you know. Your child say, I'm for register and say,
okay.
I am immediately.
But the same as
the same as and then who can apply. Na no mu apply nyina no
no na Japan na me hu bi nti de na pie dada no ana stamp ni so na the same as that
omu apply nyina no say omu be ye lucky pa no mu sabe ki anopay aye stamped copy I go through registry yen krami register stamp bi ni so.
Okay.
I'm for registry.
Okay.
Who do you call? Yeah, so register something.
Okay. Okay.
The register something is so pay. I'm for registry. If you are for registry,
Ntini say yen to me fine asemo. Lawyer, and me bisa na say any say yen to me emfa enye asem sa na wususu say the register stamp any so no the same as the beba no
say you ready it omo chi courtroom ha omo tie beba tim no omo testify say it is the
same oh
anything me say wo minimum
I 50 59 pages.
What do you mean? What is it? I say, register stamp with so.
Me patrol Debbie.
You can't say, I'm for register them. If you want them, the fire babonti. The integrity system. And it is training. So, and navigate it through the appropriate channel.
Okay.
And teacher, my own to me car or catch me say, when him say, or say, tell them this cannot manage the say. Court leading me too.
Or catch
me. He told me.
So on him say court on the betum.
But see, information is second. I just say.
Okay, yes or no?
Yes, in the one car.
Okay.
Or catch me, sir, no, sit or backo. Or do make us 3 times in the morning before I go to.
No, okay, no, we am show.
We have been say, court to a minimum, say, court to a minimum, dear. Any evidence you already dear. My millions should tap.
Lana, 1 year so days, so no along the line, what can say you were not happy about said the NMC continue ma or draw ye. Nothing yet then one to suit that.
You say, me see, not your personality responses. Not a condition, a work out one is conducive.
Okay.
Access. I come say. A person in a banter. A person who be a client, no, lay person,
or not in a baby, no.
No, Mabaku Fiho. Now, plans of unity, the plans of cordiality, with justice.
Na abra o kache o se ni intel awanya kire se court no e de ne betum no na that time o kache o no ugidiye
me de ban ye ni
Oh.
Bibia timisi. Ebi na asie. Yo kai atum. Yo ka chemi te manyen. Yesu bibia timisi.
Okay.
Yesu so. Yesi asem sia. Frankesi so. Asem besia Frankesi. Frankesi biniwe.
Okay. Lawyer.
Enti ne lawyer apia kubi na wachechwe mu na chese chema wontimi emse nra na no waboaboa ne ho dada because na say onyiya ne nte yese yebeje elino ampani ampa so yama ne 20 years but according to lawyer ne de niema bi tai chiri nkrofo bi sensa hyase ene ade omu nyina no omu bre ebeso now yenkopie mu wo Accra International Airport meka se Ghana for atadre yate denne esan se me busumnim ho baabi na President John Dramani Mahama edebetu dwebra na o launch the visa system no se sakraye kakra ebekoso ewo airport honom na chese new scanners ne ade ebeba na beboa ma yetimi aye ne ntem wo airport to queue no ni ade ne ha dwene ena me ne wo kasem the government of Ghana together with Ghana Airport Limited were more the new scanners eba beboa ama bano body checking ne kind of saying shoe analyzers at the 3D CT scanners ne ade nyina bebobo hono ma beboa na all of a sudden no say be reducing the delay ye ne the checking crofo be wudu wa ye scan wa betek ping wo be komu no asomade e hyewo e na aye ping nti o si wuyi wo betek ping na o belt e ball no dade hook no e na chese ama ye as a detective bibi wo ho ne watches ne ade say baby a Ghana ye level adru no hu hia se ye be yi ne ama bi e hyehyewo afi na ukodu akoyi belt watch masomade ansa na etimi scan no because ye packing say Ghana ya advance ama yen so 3D CT scanners body scanners show analyzers no ebia be piemu ewo ye airport hono ma Ghana for bebreni age say this is improvement we ade asebe ebe boa because eto de bia delay na ewo mu no ha adwene dodo se wutu kwanya now opani a wo the airport aviation security manager Abdul Isaka Bamba ono ene de animu wa kyerkyere efidie fofora ye de besisi ho ni nyina mu de eba beye ene se de ebeboa wo airport honom yenko na yenko hwemra.
This is where the process starts. The passenger walks in, the officer there will guide the passenger to place his or her bags correctly in the tray. The trays have sensors, so every bag that must move must necessarily be in the tray. That moves the bags across, like you see, so you cannot place the bag on the machine on its own. It must necessarily go in the tray. So it moves, it gets to the chamber, that is where the analysis is done. We have an officer at the other side, so we can walk there. Yes, this is the analogic equipment. So the analysis happens while the bag is in the chamber. So the officer at the other end, that officer is analyzing the bag while it is in there. Now, bags that we don't have any issue with, if you can go here, they go straight and the passenger picks his bags and walk away. So these bags, that means we don't have any issue with them. Those that we have issues with, they'll be diverted this way so that they go through a secondary search at the other side. I believe we may see that before you leave. It will be diverted because we have issues that will be screened by the secondary. Good. So that tells you that this one have issues. So where it is going, there's an officer there to do a secondary search. That's the essence of that. So we can go through.
So what is he about to do now?
So he's having to do a secondary search because the operator there had issues with the content.
Okay,
so this
to move it to this
to move it here so that this one will have time to reanalyze it. This is another scanner on its own. This have a sensor that picks and then interprets on the screen. If you come here, you see it. So when he brings the bag is scanned here, then you can see the image on the screen. Then he has time to re-examine it and take a final decision on the content. If it can necessary for it to open and do physical inspection, that is what she is doing now. So this is where the analysis starts from. She analyzes it. If she has issues with it, it diverts here. If no issue, she lets it go straight, you pick it and you walk away. Virtually, that's what happens. A very, very efficient equipment.
We also want to take us to the process of searching our shoes.
Oh, okay, that's what we're doing on the other side. So this is the shoe analyzer. Until now, this is a shoe analyzer. Until now, every passenger takes off his or her shoe. And the inconvenience is so much for everybody. So this one, nobody takes off his shoe. You come, if we consider your shoe too thick, that we suspect something can be hidden in it, we analyze it. And the analysis, he will demonstrate to you. You hold this one, you step on it 1 foot at a time. The system will analyze it. That tells you everything is okay. Then the second foot will go. Analyze it. Then we are good. Then you walk away. 2 seconds, you are done. Instead of removing and if we have issues with the shoe, it will mark red, cross red. Then we have to do further. We have to go further to see what could be wrong. But we need to resolve it before we go. But the point is that we don't analyze every shoe. The slippers you are wearing, nothing could be hidden here, so we don't waste your time with this. The thick ones, yes, we analyze them to make the process very smooth for passengers.
What's that machine called?
That's an X-ray machine, but its name is analogic machine. But what it does is it's X-ray. It scans. Yes, this one is shoe analyzer. Shoe analyzer. So instead of first removing your shoe and scan it, you just step and we analyze.
So
you
it's
go.
the same machine that examines the laptops and other.
Exactly. So this machine, instead of us telling you to take the laptops off, why? Because previously the ones you were using, the beam cannot penetrate laptops.
Yeah.
But this one is a 3D machine, so you can turn it anyhow you want. Because of that, you don't need to take off the laptops from it. This one is a body scanner. This one is a body scanner. This one, human being passes through it, so it examines everything that is on you. You know, this one is for bag. This one is for the human. It's for the human.
How about
We call that one is equally human, but this is more advanced than that one. That one detects metals. This one is also an old version of this. It detects only metals. But today, you know, there are some explosives that are not metals. So if they're on you, that one cannot detect because it's not metal. But this one will tell us everything that is on you, whatever it is, even your purse. It will tell us exactly where the purse is. Then we go there straight and look for it. So that's the importance of this one.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Na Efri, the manager of Airport Aviation Security, Abdul Isaka Bamba. Honum aba na chesese no your machine na okwa ode wo bag ne bekwa akoto so na e detect se bia bibi enya wo se wo dia hye bag ni mu a bibi anim so an smooth ride na ekọ bibi wo mu so an befa baabi foforo na akọ na ya san hwehwe mu ni ade enti aside the bag no so no empaboa enso ede wo ho. That's the shoe analyzer na wo kire mu no tie no say ni de wo call ya no se wo hye shoe emu odu o mususu se wo de bibi asie wo mu a na de odu nan na kosi so na e detect na full body ni nso wo ho nti se no kane na nka utu kwan a udu a ne akase rompobo ne ehwe se den na hyemu ni ne pegya na ebi no mu shoe mu nka fafafa nkrofo hwini mu ho no no ne nyina no eto abawie an se odu nan ebe den ebesi machine no eso any ade tuti mu say we share some of the conversations aba comment ni bi amanfo kire wo internet so dey na so money age pa omu ni say this will enable a smooth traveling process, a faster one of course enya afei na wo berompo wa fiance wa hye any ade ho ahomte wo brebebrebe utie yera Isaka kra no kan about the fact where kanene bi mu kwa because of some detections be any ade enti say wo laptop or bag ma uyi na ade it was a whole lot. Enti President John Dramani Mahama there wo gene samba cause amafo chema through or no na sa machine si ya begu airport we nei obetimi etukwan a process no of check in no be stress free umfa too much stress emu, and it is a good one ebisu jema yenka nokre na the whole system e wo say no e shase free Dr. Mahmoud Baumia igeta okoye ye wo airport ho na de nche say bibia ya politics e wo krom ha, everything is politics ebisu jema we enchire hwe say obisu obewia ne ho de niam boni atukwan de friga na ha okaso obeya obeye. And so the conversation no say me kan aye two-sided, with some praising President John Dramani Mahama ebisu chem say abasobodi ene se no yemfa ma no no Dr. Mahmoud Baumia esanse no na aboa ama we nyina akoso yenkoshe video we emra.
This is where the process starts. The passenger walks in, the officer there will guide the passenger to place his or her bags correctly in the tray. The trays have sensors, so every bag that must move must necessarily be in the tray. That moves the bags across, like you see. So you cannot place the bag on the machine on its own. It must necessarily go in the tray. So it moves, it gets to the chamber. That is where the analysis is done. We have an officer at the other side, so we can walk there. Yes, this is the analogic equipment. So the analysis happens while the bag is in the chamber. So the officer at the other end, that officer is analyzing the bag while it is in there. Now, bags that we don't have any issue with, if you can go here, they go straight, and the passenger picks his bags and walk away. So these bags, that means we don't have any issue with them. Those that we have issues with, they'll be diverted this way so that they go through a secondary search at the other side. I believe we may see that before you leave. It will be diverted because we have issues that will be screened by the secondary. Good. So that tells you that this one have issues. So where it is going, there's an officer there to do a secondary search. That's the essence of that. So we can go through.
So what is he about to do?
So he's having to do a secondary search because the operator there had issues with the content. So this to move it here so that this one will have time to reanalyze it. This is another scanner on its own. This have a sensor that picks and then interprets on the screen. If you come here, you see it. So when he brings the bag is scanned here, then you can see the image on the screen. Then he has time to re-examine it and take a final decision on the content. If you can necessary for him to open and do physical inspection, that is what she is doing now. So this is where the analysis starts from. She analyzes it. If she has issues with it, it diverts here. If no issue, she lets it go straight, you pick it and you walk away. Virtually, that's what happens. Very, very efficient equipment.
Na say nyina yate then after those machines the 3D CT scanner ne bodies scanners ni show analyzers ya be there na che say akwentuo emu be mere e de amagana for now yemfrin semi so na yenko NDC amanyoko no akache for some time now there is a conversation na edapono so a ye bubu mu efa a third term for President John Dramani Mahama yaka ho asem ama mampani kraba beka say onye na adwene say obeko any third term bia but the issue keeps recurring and keeps popping up akwa say low key no amanfo bi ewo NDC amanyoko ni mu a wo mo ehye mampani kutupa say wonko third term ni ade now people have started talking about it say mampani wotena se ni eye ni dodium no ye na adwene say obeko for third term na eni ebe ha adwene say kululu bi kokoso ewo NDC they want to bring that on board say mampani enko for a third term. And in the midst of Wontumi issue crown Honorable Titus Glover waka ho asem about some third term conspiracy bia ekoso ewo NDC amanyuko no emu na mene okase Kwesi Pratt Junior waba be kasa awotwemu se mampani John Dramani Mahama no krepa says our conspiracy ye wajitu mu so obekọ for tetem ne ho be ne won papa cause ono a na aba betu ne no mutu abeka se tetem ne de enya de obekọ enti no de pa ne betimi ye pusu no ama wagesa eye conspiracy na tum so obekọ tetem and was set mampani or dream who be because want to me enkotutu aboa ho betire no mizai say aboa be ni and say at this point the president has to be focused as he has said na omo plotting or backdoor no omo de omo nyomo plotting na mampani should take in the lane of the promise I will make say he's not going for any third term bia and last time I dey amano no ena 07 yenkuti nsem Kwesi Pratt Junior we dey ato mountain so
dane ne hu be ka che so petetem akodi ne hu be nwa yie pa
na se Kwesi waka so ompe waka no bebre
ebinu ka se bia ye hanya hanya dia ene na hu papa ni se be baso
entime nya hanya
tetem no emmaso na oni fifi kwete NDC General Secretary no wakasa afasa no mahu
ose party no mfaso
sape osbo mo yesa no
me greedy
wakasa omo ye greedy and opportunist that's a one person papa no corner
omo bi nti a ombenya die
exactly no more greediness no opportunism no ebe how mine no ebe ha papa na nkasa ebe ha obiara etu mo ntwaso kra ni ntumi enya sumdwi tetem no de masa emmaso
ya hena Supreme Court beka
masa emmaso kwame tetem emmaso
because social constitution yenye lawyer for ntiem
kwame unti brofo
metikakra fine
say nye lawyer for nkwane te brofo
metikakra fine but me brofo kakra minim no say me share article 66 na 66 say a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms.
Finish.
Almost say ankasa consecutively.
Finish. For more than 2 terms, finish.
Nana, any comments?
The conversation, as I say, koso na say mampani pay constitution na yedi ye adwuma say 1992 constitution ne de to me enko for presidency no more than 2 terms. But how we ka akọ 1 term dada and wasan so akọ another term. It then say aberi ya nesa. But then kukuomu nkomoni ade epiepie no che se na wo mo try se wo mo ebe amend constitution no mo asesa niam bi wo mo a ebetimi ama mampani the opportunity to go for a third term. It is say no as a Ghana for bebre no are looking at it from that perspective say ebetimi aba se mampani ono aka so onko de obetimi asesa na dwene akọ na no na nsentro ni nana eye janto aso aba be kasa e dey for this particular third term issue ni wo chem say mampani nkai say abaye de botachi ni no ane de boba na said the nsuo toy and Sunday nsuo toy yes and the rianso ebeye because Ghana for and a koto santin etwaba ede emawo and I can say Ghana for said your my amount or my be paying ede ama amanyuko NPP and to say I say nay or majority in parliament yeah in a comfortable lead near the idea into bet fetchere near maybe near ye kululu nafe wakotetem de ne dream hum prenu nim prensam pre nine crowd to me dream home and yes sir e bit me edwo how kese aba na one de on kasa bebre ye se kan say obanyansafo ye bunebe na yenka nasem enti mapani akasa nwene ho na wo hu de ye na onye yenkotie na na janto aso ensem a wode tudwa
na President John Mahama Makati said this time around me tunifu because I was so much experience and yami na me two president for debi me two president for debi President John Mahama kwa ko hye nwura ma be 8 years Nebukadnezar Nyankopon amwa wi nwura asua nyansa ni nimde me nsan tu fo say Ghana for edi 2 minimal no sa Ghana for betimi ade afru nsam me tu fo enka nchero say sa 180 something now war parliament no Ghana for because e mere bi omudi bi my NPP for within 4 years na so ate enti me tu fo sa me tu fo nka nchero say omo matwa ho ahia no ebi mpewa asem ebi pew down for me tu sa afo no unim dada me tu sa afo no enti wo de mankrofo enye diodium the nation builder John Mahama the nation builder ono aneko the nation builder say crowd the ensema ya katia no trimude ba ko esa aba no kire wo say yes kotetem now trimu ya ode because John Mahama adwuma a oye ninti kotetem oh no aba be kanisa na no dia obekan yi na no dia obekan yi me say nya communication for me kire communication na so ye communication enti asem na wo kan ye no wo kan educate viatin from bia to ho enti what is say obi ko Supreme Court na no de no OSP issue ne baye you were emphatic President John Mahama papa you were emphatic OSP ayarega de enkrata ko o chen say me pese opese wo pamo OSP because onye adwuma no o ka say munja no mo onye adwuma you were clear but then crofo e ka tetem di ntina de bia na sorry aba aya o so makan bi da bi na no nsem na wo kan ye no nkyere say na no nsem na wo kan ye na wo kyere say o Ghana for ama one additional term no o kasa ye na wo de kan wo ni nyina no from the communication point of view no you still allow say obi still obetimi de akokot me na me ye president 4 years pe mo ba mo pese me kotete me nko I'm not interested mamo ha mo ho the odiako Supreme Court no me say Supreme Court say omunyim free ho because I'm not interested me President John Mahama me one time mo pe na me ko nemo mo kan say oh me dia me ya mami one time mo pe nemo mo maka no so obi pese de kwa ni business no yenya kid yenya nkwada President John Dramani Mahama yenya nkwada sa anyoma we kasa we yenim sa settings no President John Mahama sa settings no yenim dada yenim once me pewa sempa but sa settings na wo ye no yenim dada because issue ne ba ye mu bi catch us a third time ye mprenso we will not allow ye onkofo bebre a wo me kun ye say adenti ne ma President John Mahama third time you see you don't know the danger of that more NDC more pushy for President John Mahama third term no the more training say the whole of NDC President John Mahama nkwana sabi onim nyansa say the whole of NDC mu no muntimi ntete obia apart from John Mahama nese manima guase it means that you have not trained anybody to be a good leader se mumu daso pushi say President John Mahama nkwa ne nim nyansa enti yema ne kwan third term respectfully President ankasa akwanya na wo say ye eno ne se nkwa ka ne pain maka mo ha mo hono me nkọ third term o tom se Supreme Court okra kasa me kọ third term a me nkọ 4 years na me pa nanka etwatia na mo kan ne saa akọ no still obi susu say oh na ne nti obi we oh na ne ekọ Supreme Court na Supreme Court so betimi akọ wo beko because we are amanyoni 2 means is nipa 2 means is yenim Africa leaders munye papa wo nyoma bi ho enti me Africa leader menjini ndi
so na yeti nsema wode etudwa na chese uhuni se mampani do so wabeka se nani enje ho no ne statement na wo maaye no ase emunna ho enti nko mechire mu pefe no nka ne se oh constitution naka yebeye ne saa de enwunya se bekwa free court ni ade but said the mampani ye no a wo mankofo bi hye ne kutupa no mo dada no keka nsem bi no obetimi kra asesa na dwene empofiri mu aka se wo kotetem which he feels like it is not advisable enti mampani anka santena se no ntu ne hofo no hu se de nkofo akeka no se wodi akire a ahwa edwo how ebebre the president John Dramani Mahama so going back and forth no ye man so ye praising no kai woni se say omo tai eheli wo no omo tantimi ja wo bofom se puf na afi ajegon enti mampani ontu ne hofo na wo manani enda ho with all the accolades and all the abasobo a ye de ma no ewo NDC ni mu a ebinumu kra instigating no for going for a third term no wondwene hu mprenu ansana wa make decision ewo hom now yensem a yede sorry so no na ye bowra NPP amanyoko ni mu ebiem na ne nyina afa chema Wontumi ni sentence a yede ama no of 20 years no causing misreaction ewo NPP amanyoko ni mu yehu say press conference akoso wo mu akasa chese it is politics amanyosem no mu dia sentence chema Wontumi without evidence near there from the NPP so me no ka say an expose bi nso abeto monten so ekire mu say enrada mi ankasa se mu me kan wo back doors kire wo bi na enye me wanwa se captain so e de abeto dwa wo kire mu say although NDCs are happy allegedly no jubilate about Chema Wontumi bi ko ebo Mahama Abaso say for the first time wetumi a convicted politician wo krom ha say no NPP amanyoko no so no kre ebi mu ani age papa omo ani age abroso both asantememu eni nkran ha eni wo se bo fontom from the day yo yemfenyi na ye ai eni enye tede ohima mesika ye no enya sem keto enrada according to Captain Smart no enra party bi e koso e wo labo ni kona bi emu nsanre ni anije because Chema Wontumi ya sentence no eno ene betumi ama wate ase se suro nipa neja saman because enipa nyawo obeye we so omo ne wo sere no omo a ene omo kan gum e wo achi yenkotie Captain ensemo de tuja
Yehowa adena NPP for motwi anko ka say ye ma Wontumi nkodaje ye begina free apos for nsem
told ya be a hata et Yehowa
da bi adentina o man ka say o court na sentence no na ye NPP for eti ye pene men fa he chama ye fa say data NPP Ashanti region and no almost started with whiskey
wey
me na me ka tell minim baby am penifo na wa Ashanti region tena ye aji wo mani say ye jeli Wontumi ya me na me ka tell ombo say e wo dem omko filling station bi
wey
no omko fra papa pani ne ba ko no omo sesa ensa be ye say ye fra no o mi modi ne man ko ya advert amobi honey ne dikan honey bibi no omko sesa no bi no omko to blue label ani ade de kan ho ko tra say winsa eye cheers
wey
Greater Accra enra e wo laboni am say honey na na home there what be be honey sack wo ewo we horo aha ana wo mo ko toto ne me no mo so wo mo tena bonten a e be hadwe ana mo fa American embassy ho wo so do American embassy a wo ko straight say ya wo ko ba bia free zones for office no wo fan say na wo ko ba bia France embassy wo say na down ho fie bi hye ho
anyoma ne nyede
ana Greater Accra for so ko ya cheers
ai entari bi asisi o mo na mo
ye jeli Wontumi
anyoma ne nyede
Abelem catcho. What for me, member, much better than body.
Aye, entari bi asisi o mo na mo
also, we are member.
Mumisa Kodia, Sasma make me boa, Mumisa NPP General Secretary, Sasma make me boa. Hey.
Achade.
Messi Mumisa NPP General Secretary. Hey. Sasma make me boa. And no man yet cheers.
Achade. Obi
press conference no. And they say NPP no me ya Wontumi ntira. Wey. Who's a politician at your press conference? The interest of the one being jailed. It is the name of the political party. One say fee, baba better tarhun. Tie baba be defended. Eti kotie opa more press statement na. General Secretary Kayen. They had a number of times about the NPP and a number of times about Wontumi. Munko tie. Kobo video netie. Put it for Jimmy now. And no we are cheers, blue label. Papa be a say on no Sanda and rock royal cheers. Or say, hey, sad you know. Nam say me, you know. Baby, I will say I don't know my end Tatia still. I'm not more. Let me hear me say no we are cheers. Papa no Sanda.
I was young captain, information minister. I and what the other to just say, and ye cheers near ka glass na boom came because ye jelly Wontumi. Na a year nije at me pinum be more a year more there. And the nona daddy lumba canyon, ye no srekwa, so ye know into. Susuma uti unkoso nada one no srekwa. It says all this while no according to captain press conference on mobema ya mpanimfo JFK nie Jeria Mednie Sahini Afel Kins Jinemuni ade omo kasa ne ade nyina no. It is in the interest of the political party, not in the interest of Chairman Wontumi. But ayare ho say ensem we abeto dwan ka chairman de senko woni mo a said the one lobby ni ade nyina no. But ebinumo tremu a nokre captain asemo kan de nokre pa because Chairman Wontumi ankasa na nsenya na ne issue bi baaye internal elections kwabere sechere east to se de baby abrante krea ne din the same okatechi frifa ane ni issues see ye say Chairman Wontumi akoso in executives na ye omo a party no nso abedi banke Chairman Wontumi yetete say o say JFK mpenasem no ne twen ni ade campaign tia no nti e bi chemu based on the SCC no kra no Wontumi say ebe ye bi mu de say he's out of the way. And mind you, Chairman Wontumi is also contesting for the national chairmanship akonwa no na say de ni tia anya yi a wakwa demu into be unse bia for all you know no allegedly no the opponent ni bi kure ni beje say he is out of the way nti ombetimi akowini elections ni na mu no de yare ho ne say ni pay ya yet te say omo bo cheers e woni ti so yi ne spokesperson Dr. Palgrave Boache wababe kasa a wotremu say obetumi a confirm say Wontumi akodu Nsawam ni ade but the whole chain say the last words of Wontumi eno de ababeto montin so na say ensem a Wontumi kan ye final ene ne di nkomo ansa na ye de ne kotum no ene say Dr. Palgrave embo ne homo de ne pa se kwan bia so no NPP4 ebetumi aba mu NPP will win the election on for say one sam na nimu fifre ne moja kra na beso forma o ma ne moja enso form na NPP emra power nti wa wodwi NPP4 ho na allegedly yet tete se wo mo bo cheers enu mo nsem mo de edigu ejubilate ema wi. How fair is this world? Yengoti Wontumi spokesperson ye ba beto aso
enti wo mo pass sentence ni wie ye no unya akonya ne no ekasa ye okan bibi gu waso
okati me say member modern na yema party no Wontumi bring back to power ye kan ya convict na ye be fa no sana na mo de koy so see, and at some okati me and say obey okay no friend me my younger brother I'll be okay
me hu na in fact why you down why you basa pa dentia
I mean say unia penny Debia nopa moko have breakfast. Ewia mo have lunch. And the mo have dinner. Mwa ye nianom. Budi party nkomo. Budi ebusia nkomo. Menene neko ena eba. Yako court. Na yasan piaba. Yako court. Na yasan piaba. Na ma court. Na menkwa me pie. Aminian kame ho. Minian kame ho. Minian kame ho. Minian kame ho. Oh. Minian kame ho. Yara Hussein. Yara Hussein. Yara Hussein. Minim Yameye. Yara Hussein. Yara Hussein. Yara Hussein.
Nankwa so mudin he
abusia bema nsu bema esu de asem kure ni Wontumi ama ne spokesperson Dr. Palgrave Boache wati ni suo on air na ohwe comment na ba na bi chese wenyina camouflage womo ahyase ye sympathy talk ni sympathy crying na ehu omobo ni ejai Wontumi ni ade se asu no crocodile tears entimi mehwe wenye me na me ka comment we de wa akohwe na chese umpezo mchese formula no ya used to it sa formula we die enya de befa to mu nkomra meka sem foforo emfanche but the sad part is the part where ochem se Wontumi sikwan bia so no womoa na NPP ensamra ba mu no ene bi chese se opese NPP ba eja ne allegedly no ne ma bi betumi akokko so na yama ne sympathy bi ni eja na manaba na fe ne wenya ne freedom back but looking at said the captain abe cancel no say Wontumi ye ani on his behalf no so dream party no na say they are not on the same page. No, they cannot be on the same page. Wontumi aye mobo but according to Dr. Palgrave no Wontumi say he will be okay bibia be fine ti on de omo ento omo adwene mu ono ne ho ansa na fe wo mommoa na party no bibia nkoso yie eno so no wusu bempa so kire mu se omo forget it because enya de ombeba ba mu ne chena and looks like say no Wontumi has accepted his fate though ne lawyer so be ka say wo ma no ka che ne se won call for appeal ansana omo ebe convicted no finally endra so we are looking forward say bia appeal bi be koso na osofo na se mo kan ye bi ebetimi abemu de amano so yemfa mu nsi ha na yenda mo asese mu nya bread hwe Pinax TV esuni